มไอ้ดำไปจุ่มตีลงรถไฟพิวเกติยุทธ์ถึงอเมตาออฟออซาโตในดำนาชูหายตรานี้ทองได้หอมดักนอมกรรมวิธีพุทธศาสนาส้มกระเป็นเจงลองนัดกำลังนะอัปดาละนี่เราบอกไอ้ดังนี่เราบอกไอ้ดังยืดดาวยืดดาวเราฟังแต่บอกไอ้มาไอ้แต่บ้านคน
นาทีวันต่อสมรัตเนคนจะย้อนเตาแต่น้อง
อภิเศกเกสะปะปะเทียนังอาแกปัตตาปะมาตติสนาคาตังสมังกลังสัพเพียตังสหัตตังสัพนาสมหัตตาจะสยทังพระมจาริสุปเตขนังกายกรรมังวิจากรรมังปเตขนังปเตขนังมโนกรรมังมณิติเตปเตขนาปเตขนานิกาทวานลพันตาเทปเตเทเน
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะโสมรัตนีคุณพุทธแก่พระเจ้าองค์คือพระพุทธพระธรรมพระสงฆ์ตนสิกไรกุลบุญแขกใครแต่เป็นนักลมกนาสมรพัสกาจึงพวกเทรานุเทระกรุบองค์หนึ่งฟังมีจ้ากรุบรูปแต่บางที่บุญโจรวมครั้งคำสิ่งนี้เบียนไอ้ต้องกรุบเป็นเจ็บเทียนนุกลงเปลวการนี้เอาถ้าอ่อนลูกจะอ่อนแต่บางโจรูปอ่อนแต่ละเจียดว่าเจโจลูกไว้นะบางทีมองโปรดจะกรมมาจับปัญญาศาสตร์จึงเราเรียกตรงนี้เลยครูและครูของอตบานด้วยอุปกรณ์กรรมที่บาหาจะสัญญาบัตรนะรูนจึงพัวลูกจึงอไงได้ยินเคยจะได้หายจะคุณทองไว้จะสารทองไว้ดอกกุ้งโพตามประเพณีและการพุทธศาสนาเทศนาวิจิตรยังเมื่อเคยออกนี่สารทอจะทองไว้นองตัดลูกอย่างนั้นฉลองพดพิเศษไรตุกสอบโรคภัยนอกขนมมือวัดสังตาแห่งมูนี้ไงนี่มันจะให้เคยได้เจอเจียมนุษย์เมียนทำสัญญาดังกุลดังโจดังขอบดังเต้าดังวันดังบา là hãy dừng nhân ấy kia của đền thoa thầm biên về chia này hãy chỉ tan tuân chỉ sân là thoa vào ở lô cục ông đó nâng bột về chia tương lai sai chết họ đã chia tương lai đã ban cho lục trong tâm thị này và sát lô tương lai đi chân tay đôi bọc lô đôi cùng cột đã đọc lòng cho là xa trong u nhưng nó không cho là xa được thuộc thành này này dân đang dừng lưu được học địa cười hai chiếc ha bị chia đẹp xăm và xăm ma xăm phútแต่สันดาวิจีระบบเรามือเคยยังเคยได้เป็นยังเธอเป็นชนะเป็นการรอเป็นเปิดปกติตัวยังเราขนมวัตถุกรรมหนึ่งสลายกรรมได้เกี่ยวกับเราเรายังกรุบเรียนนั้นปลาจะตามการวิธีชีวิตระบบยังกรุบเราคนนี้ไปเชื่อกันได้บานได้น้องในลมตักลมรอนั่นสมัยเจ็บกรุบเราได้โจรูปรวมใจสังกรุปองเนาะได้จินเนี่ยปากแก่ถอดหาติสตาบากาเจ็กครีโครงกรุบการกรุบแบบอย่างโดยถ่ายยืนมือเข็นเจสนักวิจิตรบทสัมพุทธิมิจาบทธรรมพุทธวจนะเมียนเจสาสามหาสัพพาวจนะอันพระวจนะเมียนเจตาธรรมะทัศน์ทรงโจมเหมือนอย่างขนาดใหญ่ไปพุทธวจนะเมียนพรามอยู่ร้อยด้วยกันสามพุทธหายจากจะไปเจียมวยสรุปถอมมวยนโยบายมวยเศรษฐกิจมวยเป็นเจียสามวยแต่งบัวนี่จะกึศหรือว่าสัตว์โดเดี๋ยวอะไรเนี่ยเมียนทำสัญญาคือได้ข้อหาเลือกการเราเมียนไปเจียแต่งพรามนี่ไอ้แล้วลองสัตว์โดจากนั้นฉลองพระถึงปีเกียรติเรียบเรียนที่หนึ่งวันนัดจะออกเนี่ยทั้งนี้ยงกันนะเคยอ่อนนะเลยทำเมียจางครบอ่องลบลงท้ายนี่เลยช่วยถึงโยนในน้องดังน้องกรองการดังน้องว่าไอ้ต้องคนเพลงโดยเคยกวาดเกียร์กันเทปได้ของที่นี่ต้องอดแต่แรกเกียร์ออกนี้ยังการล้างน้องพกแผ่นในที่ทรงไปสมังกองเมียนออกจิตมัดยังปลาจังหันเดียสันโดยสันทองยกลงออกเนี่ยนี่โดยสหมันเพื่อทำมาทางบทปรมุรูลุได้เคยแต่ทอมก็รบจะทอมไว้ดอกพุทธทอแล้วเมียนอะไรนะรบเปียทางรบเหมือนมาทั้งเมียนได้เดี๋ยวลุงจะเลี้ยงโจกีฬาได้เรื่องรบจากการสัตตาในการปฏิบัติการสัตตาเรื่องโซดโดยจะตีให้รบเปลี่ยนวิริยะน้องงอพีเยี่ยมตะตกลงกลวนเยี่ยมกรุบกรุบไอ้ชายเล็กยงมานะจักตรงเหมือนอายุเก่าปีโตเก่าไปหายจองเดินยองวันวางปันปูมันที่วันนี้ตาเธอละวัดตาเธอสลาเรียนแต่งสลาได้แต่งไอ้มอยประซองเรียนโสดกับตากับปัญหาจึงต่อตะกลอยเกี่ยนึงต่อเกี่ยวกับมีนกุลกับพุทธได้มีให้เป็นพ่อสามพุทธปรมุรูทายเยเวียนมีให้เป็นพ่อการจิมหลวงนางนี้เวียนทองสัญญาตั้งกล้วนไปยืนตัดเวียนไปยืนเวียนบุญโดยพระองค์ทรติสนาการเวียนนาเถรบุญยังเสยหอยบอกกรุบมาหายบ้านประมาณวันพระใจโดยฉะนั้นเอาไว้จะอ่อนนั่งเราเลือทำสัญญาออกนี้โดยแต่เด็กได้ยมนาเทยทอนะจงปวดจะปวดตีระวังกรุบได้จะติดทอมมีจ้าถึงคันที่สระบาการก็ตามบุญลงในพุทธศาสนาบุญอ่อนบุญปรุงแดงการได้มีบุญปรุงแดงเรียนกิจจะรุกิจแก่สิ่งที่เราตัดดูทั้งนี้กันโดยเคลียร์ได้จัดกันโดยเคลียร์ได้สมก็ออกเนี่ยเธอจะสมาธิเราเธอสมาธิให้ของเราจัดแต่หนึ่งเนาะจัดแต่หนึ่งเนาะจัดเจียจัดมวยแต่ฟังมาจิตแต่สำหรับปลามันเยี่ยงเราต้องโกกายยังจัดเจ็บเทียนฟองดังไงเราต้องเพียบทำยังดังแปลกรุบดังนั้นวัฒนะโนปกเกียงเงียบโนทำเงียบเนี่ยแต่ปฏิเสธเนี่ยจัดนั่งเจ็บเทียนจะอัดแบบลงเราโกกายยังออกเนี่ยนั่งโกกายยังนั่งเป็นไอเจ็บลำซ้ำเนี่ยได้สักใจที่มันแปลเหมือนเป็นว่าไอ้เหมือนเป็นแดนวัวเนี่ยมันเป็นแดนนี่เนี่ยหนูจะสักใจที่มันแปลเจ็บทำเจ็บอ้อยเดี๋ยวออกไม่ออกเป็นนะประกาศนะได้ที่ทางการไปกลุ่มเยอะทอลงกลุ่มเยอะได้แต่ทอกายไปกลุ่มเยอะมันเดินทอได้ทอลงกาย bài đọc lòng năng đó bài đọc lòng năng theo thầm cả đó giờ là mình chỉ biết còn đâu đồng cổ cái chứ còn đâu đồng cổ nhiều ở cái gì ai còn là anh thằng luôn anh thì cho thoại đã luôn là mình nên dùng nó hết chứ thà đầu miên cài lõ vì cha lõ chật lõ đang hao tha cài đang miệt làm ra chật đang miệt bài chật nó miệt làm ra nộp trong cổ cái vào những cục rung ngọt cái này sai việc này nào chạy sinh nhãn bắt tại bàn tất xa nhân tôn miền tôn ta miền đây họ nó ổn trong lúc sống của miền chạy sinh nhãn bắt đấy cục ông là tất nhãn bắt kêu phun các bạn nó cũng nói của cái trò buộc lồng đây là tại những cũng liên thoi chắc đấy là cái chạy cho rồi hai cái gì nhưng mà thật thò không nhiều mà cái những con dân đó mình cho cái đây dừng tăng những cái rồi anh những điều qua cái anh đi hành lúc nhiều lúc mình bên nhiều lúc trên vì anh ấy mình bên nhiều lúc vì anh vì ai vì anh ấy thì mình bên nhiều rồi dừng thật ổn thật bom tan một cái đi miền bom hội đồn ta nhìn hao trong đó tan một cái đi rồi ôm rồi u rồi đi ta bom là chuyện đồn ta nhưng phải bom mọi cuộc hồn đen bom được chạy chất châu phải là tan kia cái người rồi giờ mà sẽ là ba cha tam một cái gì bỏ ghi chuyện để luôn công oi khai lâu khai chỉ là nam ổn đặt thành nhà lơ đặt thành nhà luôn khó ao đi đó bây giờ nó chạy thơ mình chẳng bỏ chặt mới đã dột chạy cái ra mình chưa là chạy thơ bắt ở đâu luôn nhưng đâu khăn rồi cao bình thường của sốt bôi đi cũng là nó khai cao trên bình thường bắt những tin bị kia chiên người kia hay bị kia không người kia quan ra người kia là dân ở miền Tây dân qua trò là hết là quay vậy ở miền Tây trong cuộc đi còn ông thấy chuột bằng năm máy dân thư của đám thư đám giấy thư đây là nó có tu điều thư gây lo nó nhưng bắt gây bắt sang nó cho na mà đi xôn quân luôn rồi nó đi với cái nào cho nó chia trước mà có làm đây cho sang đây làm đâu của xe được tu xe đẹp xe con xe tiết bắt luôn bắt con thì ta dân thử đang trong đấy sáng cái đọc buông sáng nghiệp là tôi xanh cái thằng nghe quấn quát đây rồi có cái nút nằm sang đây ở đó thì dân tập trung nó thấy ở đó cho là nó chơi lấy nhưng mà dân không đang chơi thằng kia ta xôn oi cả là group ông cầm dây ra group ông luôn nó và cả đang chơi group thành thiết quan đang chơi là đâm bên ông đây có đâm đây cái đâm đâm kê đâm đây cái đâm luôn đây của các anh làm kê và mình nói là càng sang chia sẻ để làm với cái phần đại diện thêm là đại diện cái phòng kia được bao nhiêu mọi bà con dân lịch dân rơn dân ở hai dân đâu là hư ha các có áo rồi hư ha đồ xong ở đâu hư ha đây con rồi Vậy kia đấy bọn dọn vậy chứ mà có hết rồi vậy kia ra thì thế Thằng vì cha của con là một cái đi được kiểm tra công ty đi chiều sai bom tại trong con tập con thấy chỉ đặt ra con và nó là từ nhà sản công ty đi trong một số sản từ trong và kiến cô trong cái người con khuyên họ không không chạy nên kiểm tra công ty đi anh trong này sẽ hành tôm chúng con to vào tại trong từng thầm vì cha của họ từng lúc kia từng lúc ta chẳng cháu của ma ra của ma này cho họ sẽ ban chuộc chung theo đầu tiên ba một cách nhà bác chết đó cần tới nhà bác trên thường chết ở khi đầu tiên đó miền các con của Việt Nam đã ban hỏi nhà bác đi với chân sâu và thô sạch cho đó và kiên phô ông cục ông haiคุณโบตอนแรกซ้ำเราลุกขึ้นมาจิตนาการมันจะได้จิตกาปลุกได้จูลงตรงใจที่กุศลมายุบปัจจัยโนโบทางในม้วนคืออายุวันนักตกขาดแล้วนั่นเรื่องอะไรที่นั่นสมาธิรุ่นสมาธิรักการเปลี่ยนสองบัวสวรรค์โมทนีโลกาเป็นเด็กแรงหันดีหัน
The Supreme Patriarch of Cambodia has just spoken moments ago. He has touched on many issues, but I have no time to translate or interpret all that. But let's summarize in a nutshell, as we don't have much time. He highly appreciate the opportunity to come to take part in this very auspicious graduation ceremony right now, and he highly value the efforts of Panyasastra University of Cambodia for having done an excellent job in producing a great number of graduates throughout the year, and for upholding the national culture and tradition, as we have witnessed a few moments ago by the performance of the graduates this year. And it says that Buddhism very much evaluate the five principles. That number one, philosophy, which is the lofty teaching of the Buddha, and it can be practiced and can cultivate yourself. And the second one, morality. Then along with your knowledge and philosophy, you have to uphold the moral virtues at the same time. It cannot be separated. Then number 3, the science, and science is also a part of Buddhism. In fact, Buddhism is very scientific, to say in brief. And number 4 is politics or polity. Politics in the sense that to lead the people to gain benefit, not politics for the politics sense, political sake. Number 5 is economic. This is what we need to have and possess. We can exist because we have economy. That is, we have food and other necessary items to live on. So Buddhism highly appreciates those who have acquired knowledge and at the same time have Dharma. Dharma or Dhamma is important, and if you live with Dharma, your life is excellent. So everyone has to strive for knowledge as well as Dharma. So uphold the moral virtues. This is very important. Animals have 3 faculties, but we humans have 4, because we have another one is Dharma, the faculty of knowing or life consciousness, and number 2, the faculty of the food, that's feeling hungry and so on, and the faculty of sensual pleasure. So animals have all these 3, but we humans have another one, that's number 4, Dharma. That is moral virtues. If we don't have this number 4, we are no more better than animals. We just like animals. And yes, that he also admonished the young preachers, Cambodian venerable monks, to strive for knowledge and at the same time not to go beyond what is Dharma. And with their preaching and teaching have to be within Dharma. Then he highly appreciates Panyasasa universities for all the endeavors and for the great success these universities have exemplified in Cambodia. And these universities is a place where students yearn to come, and they always wish to be students of Panyasasa University. So he really appreciates the founder, President Dr. Korpeng, for his selfless effort.
lửa nó vòng của lúc ta có cái tí hàm hoa cho một cái bao nhiêu mình mà
anh nhân gia anh đi nhung sông group anh chơi ai ở đâu với chúng tiêu lâu lục say này nên cái nhà phiêu cái đi cái xong bên đi sẽ tiền on của anh tới na UP nhá sao mà xin chỉ cho tới một tụng tất xong người ta ở bàn lương chỉ tìm một phật chàng nhưng mình du đi chàng cho rồi rồi hàng chân xong người ta lương bằng đẹp chàng xong mọi người ពិធីការអញ្ជើញគណៈអធិបតីតាមមកកាន់ពិធីការខាងលើដើម្បីយើងទៅបន្តកម្មវិធីចែកសញ្ញាបត្រជូននិស្សិតចេតពីបរិញ្ញាបត្ររងបរិញ្ញាបត្រនិងបរិញ្ញាបត្រជាន់ខ្ពស់នៃសាកលវិទ្យាល័យបញ្ញាសាស្ត្រកម្ពុជាឆ្នាំ2016សូមគោរពអញ្ជើញក្រុមការងារពិធីការសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញគណៈអធិបតីនិងជាវកិត្តិយសសូមអញ្ជើញមកកាន់វេទិកាក៏ដូចគ្នានោះផងដែរអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យខ្ញុំសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញមិត្តនិស្សិតជ័យលាភីទាំងអស់មេត្តាត្រឡប់ចូលកន្លែងគួរសមវិញហើយមេត្តារក្សារបៀបរៀបរយដើម្បីនឹងបន្តកម្មវិធីទៀតចា៎សូមអរគុណជាថ្មីម្ដងទៀតអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យនាងខ្ញុំសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញបរិស័ទជ័យលាភីទាំងអស់មេត្តាត្រឡប់ចូលកន្លែងគួរសមវិញដើម្បីនឹងបានបន្តកម្មវិធីប្រគល់សញ្ញាបត្រជូននៅក្នុងពេលព្រឹកនេះផងដែរសូមគោរពអញ្ជើញនេះខ្ញុំសូមអនុញ្ញាតបន្តកម្មវិធីសូមអបអរសាទរពិធីប្រគល់សញ្ញាបត្រនិស្សិតជ័យលាភីបរិញ្ញាបត្ររងបរិញ្ញាបត្រជាន់ខ្ពស់នៃសាកលវិទ្យាល័យបញ្ញាសាស្ត្រកម្ពុជា Your Excellency Luk Chumtil, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Song Bua Te Pada
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ
please be seated. Respected His Excellency Natawut Pontisaro, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand to the Kingdom of Cambodia. Respected His Excellency Thach Yu, Ambassador of Social Republic. PUC Founding Fathers and President, PUC Senior Vice Presidents, Vice Presidents, Deans, Associate Deans and Assistant Deans, Professor, parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please applause to welcome to the 7th PUC commencement ceremony. As we view education being the most important purpose of life, we actually have taken our role to educate and empower future leaders most seriously. Without further ado, please allow me to invite Dr. Kolping, PUC Founding Father and President, to deliver his welcome address. Dr. Kol, please.
Okay. Okay.
សូមគោរពសូមជម្រាបសួរគណៈអធិបតីទាំងអស់សូមជម្រាបសួរមេដាបេដានិស្សិតដែលលោកមិនបានចូលរួមនៅខាងលើនេះសង្ឃឹមថាគេអាចបន្តកាមេរ៉ាលោកអាចឃើញពិធីនៅខាងលើហើយគោរពសួរចៅដែលជាម្ចាស់បុណ្យចៅជាម្ចាស់បុណ្យបើអត់មានចៅទេយើងធ្វើបុណ្យនេះមិនកើតទេ So congratulations to all of the graduates. At the outset, I would like to pay my great respect to Honorable President of PSU, Honorable Executive Chairman of IQ International and Chairman of Quest International University of Malaysia, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is really an auspicious day that we here together today to celebrate the 7th commencement of our graduate. Congratulations to you all. I humbly request you, graduates, to convey my message to your parents that we have a small place. Our space is constrained, and this applies to all our honored guests, presidents from different universities that join us here. Our space is constrained, but our heart is so large. So we want everyone to be in this small room. However, the space is physical, cannot be extended as large as our heart. So please forgive me for not being able to house all of you in this room. We call Stadium Room, dedicated to the owner who agreed to help me getting this place for our first class in 2005. So we forced to place your parents on another building on 3rd floor called Mekhet Minop. And some of you know what Mekhet Minop means. Mekhet Minop is the candidate of one of Bodhisattva who worked as a community leader and become the king of all diva. We call Indra. And that is Mekhet Minop. So you have a better place down on 3rd floor. So we at Panyasas, I would like to briefly, Your Honor and Excellency, that we start our university in 1997. But due to the constraint of still space and material again, we officially opened only on 2000, the millennium years. So until now, we have 16 years of operation. This is the 7th graduate. Students who have been graduate before is about approximately, including this one, we have our graduate on the market and to serve the nation, 7,000. About 7,000, more than 7,000. So this is explain the effort that all of us would like to participate in the nation building after 3 decades of war. There are many things we want to do to rebuild a country, but we cannot do it without a proper education. That's why all of us strive very hard to work on this direction. We believe that with a proper education, we can establish or develop sound human capacity with high moral conduct, with good character, what we call software, along with the skill that all our dean and teachers strive very hard to make them capable to handle the work when they get into the labor market. Nonetheless, our students spend so much time in library. Our library connect to the world, especially to the National Congress Library of the United States. We have they can connect to millions of electronic reading and material from our library on the 2nd floor. We are honored to have a library called American Corner offered by the State Department. And PUC also has the honor to be advisor to the U.S. education. So this is the foundation of our education. Every year we have a general, I call a general professor, who shape up our student habit to work hard. Could you believe it? In order to go to the community, to work actively to serve community, to see the real issues in the community, I soon have to wake up some of you complaining that my professor make me working so hard. They wake up at 3 to be here at 4 a.m. in the morning and then continue their journey to the countryside, to the community. In the first several months, they complain, but when the class ends, they appreciate that professor. And our students call him the one who gives much problem, because they have always problem to resolve. I call him a hard general. And thank you to Professor Sambo Mandra, I don't know where he is. Oh. He changed student habit from laziness to an industrious one. And you all should be proud of him. That class began from the foundation year. And then when he come to second year, he meet someone soft, easy, but firm like a rock. You have to finish your assignment on time. You have to do paper and reflection every day after class. You have to have reflection on the class. You know who he is? Okay, I don't need to tell you who he is. And I ask you graduate to maintain that softness in your heart, but firm in your decision. When you know what is right, be inflexible, stand on your ground until it's proven wrong. It's not you are in the right track. Some like the highest patriarchs mentioned this. We are human beings, which is completely different from animal. We call Thomas. In English word, we know what is right, what is wrong. And that is all education about. And you know all this. Very soon, you're going to go to the market. I mean labor market. Some of you have been employed honorably as executive. Some are your own CEO. I would like to report to our honorable guest that our graduate is 100% employed. Seven percent of them became their own CEO of their own corporation. And that is constitute the middle class that provide a lot of job to people in the future. And I wish some of you, when you go out, after graduation, you all have experience already through your work and your internship. Please be your own boss. And you're free to think, to do, but you are not free about your time. When you become your own boss, you work without stop. Be CEO, spend not less than 16 hours per day, and you will succeed. You will be happy. Today is the last day that we are together. I wish that we're going to get a degree from us. The Board of Trustees has signed, the committee, the academic, senior vice president review every credential that you deserve it. But I have one treasure for you, besides your degree and education. And this is a rare opportunity that some of you have been gained through, but you don't know what it is. I would like to bring an example as illustration of what the heritage that I want to pass on to you all. In order to understand that heritage, I would like to bring an example as follows. Everyone owns a house, right? Or you rent a building, or you rent an apartment, a place that you live every day. Either belong to you directly or belong to someone else. You need to take care of that place. But one day, there is a fire to your apartment, to your house. What are you going to do? You try to save what you love the most, right? Sometimes you have to safe. You have a safe that you put the most valuable thing, gold, ring, jewelry, the award that you get from a king or someplace, the most valuable one in that safe. But the fire is burning to your house. And you bring this, it in a safe, and you don't know where the key is. So you look around and you cannot find the key, you need to run out from the fire. At that time you see only one the sign, someone has the sign, or an umbrella nearby, so light. And you take away and run out to cover your face from burning. So that's where you can get from your place. Every day, every hour of our life, our body is burning. Our cell burning every fraction of second. And we get older and older. So that burning in our physical body is comparable to this space, to the house that are burning on fire. And that physical body is on fire all the time until the last minute. The body say, I cannot stand anymore. So I say goodbye to everyone, even the most low one. The most below one, we have to be separate. When we separate, what do we have to take with you? Nothing. But I pass on to you today what we call the seven noble wealth. Seven noble wealth that you gain through the education from this university. You may not be aware it. Remember that our motto is Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Sila means what? Conduct of high morality, and you practice that. Samadhi is focus, concentration of mind, mental discipline. When you get those two through, you become wise and you gain wisdom. And that's the only thing you can carry is your noble wealth. So the Buddha mentioned the highest property that we can earn and carry through, seven of them. One called Satya, means faith. In triple gem and the law of karma. That means you believe that in this world there is something called karma. You get what you do. You reap what you sow, and that called faith. Second, Sila is a practice of high morality, code of conduct. Everyone, when they come to our orientation class, they have to practice the 5 precepts. So you have that. On your graduation, we just remind you that you continue to take that precept with you, which is one of the highest noble wealth. Hiri means sense of shame in doing unwholesome action. You cannot kill a fish, but you practice this. Do not use fishing or hunting as your vacation, because you're going to commit unwholesome action. Ottappa means sense of fear in doing unwholesome action. That when you go out in public, you are ashamed that you do something wrong, people can see it. It reflects by the mirror of society. But if alone, you cannot do it because your conscience watching you. Sutta means learning. Every day of your life, you learn since your childhood, you learn to observe your parents, you learn to observe everyone else around you, but your teacher asks you to learn only good things. Try to avoid evil action. And that learning, acquiring knowledge. Knowledge keep in you that you can add it to your wisdom. The act of generosity is the number 6, sharing your wealth with unfortunate people. Bill Gates opened many foundations across the world, and we have in this room many, including from Honorable Siddhartha, President William Clark, and all your ambassadors and everyone sharing their wealth, their knowledge to others, and that is the number 6 wealth that you can carry out of wisdom. The last one, when you all practice this, you gain what we call panya or wisdom. Developing wisdom is to understand noble truth. And then it leads you to think right, understand right, and to act righteously. That is my heritage that I want to pass on to you. Would you accept that? And you do please applause. I don't have time to elaborate it because it's just a revision of my class. So, you will grant with the certificate with the 7 noble wealth. Dear parents, thank you for sending your children at this university. We are so honored to have smart children like yours, and we hope you won't forget us again when you get out from our university. To conclude, I call short remark but quite long. That I wish all of you with longevity, nobility, health and happiness. God Buddha, God bless you. May all beings be always be happy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Nukta. Ladies and gentlemen, as we always know that there's no enough time to listen to his speech, especially his morality. Ladies and gentlemen, next actually I will invite Dr. Clark to deliver the speech, but before that allow me to give you a brief and introductions of Dr. Clark. Following his graduation with a Bachelor of Art degree from then Bridgewater State College in 1983, Dr. Clark went on to learn a law degree from Suffolk Universities. He worked for 18 years for the late Congressman Joe McClay, serving his district director, legal counsel, and Washington liaison officer. On July 1st, 2015, Dr. Clark became the 12th president of Bridgewater State University. During the first year of his presidency, Dr. Clark has identified 3 critical priorities, making the university a nationally recognized leaders in student success, addressing the needs of adult learners in southeastern Massachusetts, and growing the university's endorsement. Assuming the presidency keeps along and distinguished association with Bridgewater State University, he also served as chairman of Bridgewater State College Board of Trustees and co-chaired the university's first major fundraising campaign. From 2011 to June 30th, 2015, Dr. Clark held the positions of Executive Vice President and Vice President of External Affairs, responsible for a range of regional, state, national, and international programs and initiatives. He also was appointed by the Governor Deval Patrick to serve as chairman of the State Board of Higher Education. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Frederick Clark from BSU.
Thank you very much. John Reepsor. Ambassadors, ministers, trustees, my friend Dr. Cole Pang. Dr. Cole Pang is my brother. He is my older brother. And like younger brothers look to older brothers, I want to be like him when I grow up. Platform administrators, faculty, honored guests, and especially our students, our graduates, and your families. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today on behalf of my colleagues at Bridgewater State University. We very much value our partnership with PUC. I did not begin that partnership. I am only a recent president, but I very much value it. I do want to give credit to 2 people who are on the stage. Our Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Karim Ismaili, who is with us. And even more importantly, to Dr. Kevin Curry, who came here by himself less than 10 years ago to forge a partnership with PUC and to do good work for the people of Cambodia in remote villages with Water for Cambodia and the Rotary Club. That's Kevin Curry. This commencement has an important meaning for you, graduates of PUC, and as the word commencement suggests, you are now beginning a new journey in life, a journey that will be filled with challenges, opportunities, successes, and even disappointments. But this journey will also be filled with wonder, with excitement, and with personal growth. Today you are going outside of the classroom of PUC and using what you have learned to help develop your country, to make life better for your fellow Cambodians, and hopefully to even change the world. The PUC faculty and administrative staff have prepared you very well for this day. They have helped you to think, to communicate, to conduct research, to appreciate other cultures, to explore the unknown. Now it is your obligation to use that preparation for the betterment of society. The education that you have gained here can be a potent catalyst for human development. As the great African leader Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. You now have that power. Use it wisely. Use it with compassion. Use it to build a better tomorrow. The world outside the classrooms and laboratories is a demanding one, filled with uncertainty and instability. It is a world of strife, of stiff economic competition, social conflict, and political tension. You will be tested on your journey as you leave PUC, but be confident in knowing that this great university has given you the personal and educational tools to succeed. In a few moments, you'll receive your diploma. It is more than a piece of paper. It is a symbol of a new responsibility. You will hold in your hands the means to improve the lives of those around you, to solve critical national challenges, to give back to society all that PUC has given to you. Make that diploma mean something, not just to you, but to all of those who are with you on your journey. As you move forward with your lives, let me tell you about how we at Bridgewater State prepare our students for their journey. We are led in our work by words that define our values and describe our mission, not to be ministered unto, but to minister. What these words mean is that our students are expected to use their education to serve humanity, to give of themselves, to work toward the common good. Gaining an education should never be a selfish endeavor, but rather a pathway to self-improvement through service to others. For 176 years, Bridgewater has been an institution committed to academic excellence, service to our region, and to the creation of equity through educational opportunity. As leaders in our communities, it is our collective responsibility to utilize education to illuminate the potential for societal growth and development. That responsibility now falls to you, our graduates. Just as light replaces darkness, knowledge replaces ignorance. And though our presidential election in the United States is not our finest example, I was paying attention to what our patriarch said about the fourth principle of Buddhism. At Bridgewater, we believe in the Confucian saying that it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Education expands knowledge, but it can also be used to equalize opportunity for success for others. At Bridgewater, we place great value on expanding those opportunities. Our founder, the most famous American educator called Horace Mann, said about education that it is the great equalizer, the balance wheel of the social machinery. And what he meant is that those who are leaders of our institutions of higher education must create a learning environment that gives students a chance to move up the economic and social ladder, to lift themselves out of poverty, to gain the skills to make them vital contributors to the national development. Like PUC, we see our university as a gateway to opportunity for all of our students, many of whom are first in their families to attend college, many of whom are from low-income families, many of whom have had to overcome profound obstacles to earn their degree. I am just one example. I am a graduate of Bridgewater myself. I come from a large family with no college experience whatsoever. Everyone in my family works with their hands in the trades. I am amongst the first. I'm one of 6 children. All of us went to college. Education can transform lives, individual lives, family lives, and the lives of a community. I am an example. I am here as a college president halfway around the world because of the transformative power of education. Equal opportunity is one of the foundations of American society, and we at Bridgewater are very proud to help strengthen that foundation. Thousands of students have gotten their start in life because we value access to educational opportunity and what it creates, equality and fairness. These are the values that I hope you embrace on your journey. I would ask you all, graduates, to be champions of expanding opportunities for the less fortunate as you take the next steps in your career. Never forget where you came from, and always give others a helping hand upward. At Bridgewater, we consider ourselves a family, a large family, a diverse family, a caring family. But the key to our spirit is the belief that a sense of shared togetherness as a family keeps us strong, helps us to fulfill our mission, instills in our students a bond that unites them throughout their journey. Today, you have gained a new family, not just your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, wives or husbands, but your classmates here at PUC. Do not forget them. Stay connected. Work side by side with them. Become a team that helps transform Cambodia. Cambodia and PUC hold a very important place in my heart, within my family, in our university, and in our state. I have not only visited PUC and your beautiful country in the past, but my 2 sons have traveled here as students on service trips, working with your fellow countrymen and women as well. I was here last year. I brought 12 students from Bridgewater State with Dr. Kevin Curry, and we partnered with PUC and with Water for Cambodia. We went to Siem Reap, and we installed water filters in remote villages working together. I remember one remote village. It was the furthest away. I had to get in a truck. I had to get on the back of a motorcycle, and we went down a very bumpy dirt road, and I think I left my kidneys on that road. And when we got to the remote village, we installed a few water filtration systems. And there was one house in particular, we installed a filtration system, and there were 3 little girls and a very shy brother who I could tell wanted to play. So we brought some toys with us, little plastic balls, and I started to roll them across the floor, and they rolled them back and forth we went. And after a while, I had a connection with those little girls and their shy brother, and they started to laugh, and they started to really be full of joy. And then they started to sing. They sang and filled that house with such beautiful music, and they were laughing as they were singing. I have to tell you that they captured my heart through that beautiful song. And in that moment, I fell in love with Cambodia and its people. So my sons and I will always hold wonderful memories of our visit to Cambodia. We will always remember those smiles, the kindness, the strength and resilience of a people who have endured so much hardship. We will keep the Cambodian people in our hearts forever. Bridgewater is also very proud, as I said, of its ongoing partnership with PUC. We are committed to providing assistance to students from your wonderful university. We will continue to invest in this important partnership and are truly overjoyed to welcome Cambodian students to our campus. The students from PUC who come to Bridgewater enrich our community. They provide our students with a deeper understanding of your country and your culture. Your students give us so much to be thankful for. For our part, we hope that we provide PUC students with an experience that is the best that America has to offer. I want to bring you greetings from the 3 PUC students who are currently attending my university. Mam Dalin, who is studying environmental science and biological science, loves working in our laboratories and hopes to use her science education with an NGO and eventually to teach at the college level. She wishes all of you graduates good luck and good fortune. Sham Patiri is thankful for her educational preparation at PUC and the opportunity to study at BSU as well. She is waiting to see the first snowfall. I'm not. but hopes that the winter will not be too cold. It will be. She sends her blessings to all of you graduates. Lao Deni is taking courses in art and graphic design at BSU and is very happy with her education as well. When she graduates from PUC next year, she'll continue her work educating those Cambodians who are poor. She has started 1 school but wants to build 2 more schools, serving as a bridge from poverty to opportunity. She hopes that other PUC students will apply for the BSU scholarship and advance your education. She misses PUC and all of her friends and wishes the graduates the very best. I also want to recognize Mam Devi, who is graduating today. Mam Devi went to BSU as a scholarship student and is another truly wonderful example of the educational excellence here at PUC. We are very proud of the PUC students at Bridgewater and all of our graduates here in Cambodia. I think of PUC and Bridgewater's common goal of developing the full potential of a student to live a happy life with high morals, virtuous conduct, and professional skills, to create noble citizens to serve others with kindness, compassion, and love. All of what you have learned at PUC is meant to advance that important goal. But I also often think of those 3 little girls and their shy brother, their song still echoing in my conscience. All children are born equal, but opportunities for education and for success are not equally available anywhere in our world. I hope that opportunities find those children and children like them everywhere, because we remember the wise Tibetan proverb that a child without an education is like a bird without wings. The world must work harder to expand educational opportunities to unlock potential. But I am confident that at PUC and at Bridgewater State, we will play even larger roles in the future in providing opportunities for the children in our countries so that they too can learn to fly. You have seized your opportunities, graduates, and it will be such an honor to watch all of you soar to new heights of achievement. Bridgewater has always admired Cambodian people. You are strong, courageous, resilient, filled with hope, and your families have suffered through one of the worst periods of genocide in our lifetime. And yet, you Cambodian people have risen above this evil and transformed your country. Time and again, you have lit a candle against the darkness. You are a shining example for the rest of the world. As we celebrate your graduation today, I want to make special mention of another shining example, my friend Dr. Koh Pang. I ask you to assist President Koh Pang in advancing his dreams of a PUC in the future. Dr. Pang is a great educator, a great Cambodian, a great man, and my personal hero. He has put you on a path to success. He deserves your support. Please keep him in your hearts. remember his lessons, and take his spirit with you on your journey. So be proud, graduates. Celebrate your success. You worked hard to complete your studies. And on behalf of Bridgewater State University, we wish you good luck, good fortune, and success in your chosen career. Remember to open doors of opportunity for others and to light your own candle against the darkness. Congratulations to you and to your families, who I know have helped you so much and are so proud of your accomplishments. Your diploma honors your families as well. As you leave PUC after this commencement, may your journey forward be filled with many blessings and service to others. Samnang Leal.
Thank you very much, Dr. Clark, for your speech. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to also have the presence of Dato' Sri Vichai Iswaran. But before I invite him to take the speech, I would like to give a short introduction of his bio. Dato' Sri Vichai Iswaran, co-founder and executive chairman of QI Groups of Companies, is a versatile entrepreneur with a slant toward the disruptive. His latest endeavor is the QI City Development Project with Chinese joint venture partner, which will develop a complete complex in retail, housing, education, and medical facilities over 26 acres in Malaysia. A prominent philanthropist, Dato' Sri established the RIM Foundation for the QI Group CSR activity around the world. In Malaysia, he set up the Wijayaratnam Foundation and other charitable organizations. He is named for Forbes Asia's annual list of Hero of Philanthropy. Dato' Sri was bestowed the Special Award for Education, Entrepreneurship and Leadership at the 18th Malaysian Education Summit. In November 2013, he was awarded the Malaysian Business Award, MBA, CEO of the Year 2013 by the Asian Business Advisory Council, Malaysia. He is the chairman of the University Council of Quest International University Perak, QIUP in Malaysia, which was established in partnership with the state's governments of Perak in 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, Dato' Sri Vichai Iswaran.
His Excellency Dr. Lee Tuk, Senior Minister, Dr. Kol Peng, His Excellency Veng Sarayuth, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Frederick W. Clark Jr. from Bridgewater. It's a tough act to beat there, Doctor. Brilliant speech by Dr. Clark. Please give him another round of applause. Their Excellencies, the ambassadors, members of the teaching staff, and graduating students. First of all, let me begin by saying that the word that impressed me very much coming here is Panyasastra. Being Malaysian, and we are just about an hour away, hour and a half, so to speak, so we have actually less to do with, the countries in ASEAN than apparently the Americans have done. And we need to rectify that. We have a long tradition between Malaysia, Cambodia, historically and otherwise. This goes back a couple of thousand years. In essence, we traded as kingdoms, going back to the Champa Kingdom, the Annam Kingdom, Lankasuka, Sri Vijaya, all of which traded with Suryavarman. at a time when the largest temple complex in the world was built right in Siem Reap, which is an iconic and I'm very proud to say, for me being a Malaysian Indian, I look upon Angkor Wat with great pride, and it is a place that we keep coming back to. But more than that is, as pointed out today by His Holiness, we opened the session with prayers, chants, mantras, and the traditions that represents is actually very humbling to me. It's something that we as a university in Malaysia need to learn from. We are a very young university. We have a lot to learn. We have another 170 years to catch up with Bridgewater. We'll eventually get there. But Panya Sastra has taught us a lot today, just watching this entire ceremony and the respect for the tradition and culture. It is my belief that as long as the respect for tradition and culture continues, there will always be hope for Cambodia. There is no question in my mind that there is a great future for Cambodia. I have been coming here over the last decade or so, and every time that I've come here, it has been amazing to see the kind of development that has taken place. But having said that, it is the people that make the difference. In my own case, it is the people who basically decide or actually drive my company's future. And it is the people who basically become successful, not the companies. And therefore, it has been our position to always build a culture and attitude. We have today about 1,000 staff working for us in 42 countries across the world. But we are very proud of a culture that we have built upon, which is built upon ahimsa, a concept which comes essentially from Buddhism as well. We are vegetarian as a company. We preserve certain values. We are proud of our traditions. And it is because of those traditions that we can actually hold our head up wherever we go in the world. In that sense of the word, Cambodia is richer than most nations out there. You have 1,000 years of history and tradition and culture to draw upon, and this is something that needs to be amplified and magnified. It needs to be taken to the world. And the word Panya Sastra actually is Sanskrit, and it comes from the ancient scripture, or actually the wisdom of the scriptures, which is brilliant because it implies that knowledge itself is insufficient. Knowledge itself is what you have got now as graduates from this university, and you'll be moving on from PUC on to the real world. It is here that the journey changes to wisdom. And it begins with application of this said knowledge, and as said by Dr. Clark so many times earlier, you're going to have many trials and tribulations along the way. You're going to fall a lot. But falling or failing is actually part and parcel of success. And I believe they are actually the reason why we succeed. Our ability to get up again every time we fall is what defines us. You as young graduates, you're going to be heading out into the world today, a world that is tremendously changed. During the time that I began this company 18 years ago, and the world that is today has already changed, and it has changed diametrically. It's amazing. The world of today is about basically disruption, something that I have spoken about many times in various forums across the world. And disruption is changing tradition, changing the way things are done, changing how success should be evaluated, changing this world as we stand. Now, if you take a look, you actually have an advantage. The Dr. Clark and Bridgewater and myself, we went through a number of stages of evolution, i.e. from the time that the dial telephone began. All right, the dial telephone essentially, is how I used to call home from the States, which is, actually from the UK first. And that's something you see in museums nowadays. You don't see very much of those out there. You actually have to turn it around and then wait while it goes back, tick, 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 tick. And then again another time. And then you do that for 14 numbers if you need to go, across the world. The problem is when you miss one number, then you start all over again. Now, we began from there to telephones that required push buttons, and then we moved on to essentially huge mobile phones that look like walkie-talkies. I used to carry one of those in my belt too when I walked around building this company. But all of that has changed tremendously. Today we are in the world of smartphones. And smartphones means that you have a technology right at your hands, at your fingertips, that bypasses all of this development over the last 2 to 3 decades. When we moved into Indonesia, we are an e-commerce company. So our entire focus was in the arena of building internet economy. And when we moved into Indonesia, penetration of computers in Indonesia was less than 1%. Now Indonesia is just a partner, of ASEAN, which you are a part of, and I intend to come back to that in a little while. Indonesia was less than 1%, and they basically told us that we're wasting our time going into Indonesia because we are an e-commerce company, and there's less than 1% of the population that uses the computers, leave alone laptops or iPads or what have you. But within the short span of time we have been in Indonesia, Indonesia has become the largest Facebook market in the world today. It has tremendous growth, 60 million users within a year. And that is simply because of the advent of smartphones. Technology has changed the way development is looked upon. So the playing field today, for Cambodia included, has changed. And it has changed tremendously, which means, in essence, you can right now think in terms of connecting and working with the entire globe per se. It's not just Cambodia. Cambodia, as such, is now part of ASEAN. ASEAN represents 10 nations, of which Malaysia is now a part of, because of the fact that we have been colonially divided over the last couple of centuries. We have been looking west in different directions. Malaysia and Singapore and Brunei, for instance, have always, and Myanmar, have looked towards the UK, because we were British colonies. Indochina has looked towards France. Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, so to speak, to a great extent. And Indonesia to Holland. So we have people coming out of universities in Indonesia heading to Amsterdam to study, as opposed to coming over, right across an hour and a half into Malaysia or crossing our borders and building this region. We have 600 million people in this region, the world's largest growing market, and you are right in the center of it. This needs to be basically something that all of you as students now need to open up and develop. Entrepreneurship is the only way forward. As Dr. Cole put it, if you're going out there to work 9 to 5 for a living, do it for the shortest time that you can. In essence, I believe as he does, you need to stand on your feet as soon as you can. The way forward, essentially, is to get as much experience as possible and start building your own companies, your own way of looking at the world. Jack Ma, for instance, a classic case in point. Someone I would use very much as an example in this corner of the world. Someone who basically built something out of nothing to the point today that our leaders actually go to Mr. Ma for advice and help within the arena of entrepreneurship and e-commerce. Now, having said that, your graduates and the world is right in front of you. The first rule that I would actually advise you to adapt, adjust, and accommodate the first 3 rules. You have a world that's changing so fast, it'll make your head spin. You need to basically start by adapting, adjusting, and accommodating. There is a simple rule to this process. You need to basically make the changes yourself. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. Don't expect the world to change because they are not going to. They're simply not going to. Don't blame anyone else or any other situation outside of yourself. You have the ability to change the world, but you begin by changing yourself. You begin by adapting, adjusting, accommodating. You begin by growing as a person. You begin by never stopping being a student. This is not the end of an era, it's the beginning. It is now that you decide to be a student for life. If you're ever going to be successful in any field of endeavor going out there, you do it by learning and continuously learning, continuously adjusting, continuously adapting, and continuously accommodating. That's the only way forward. A while back, I was fortunate enough to see a convocation speech given by Mr. Jobs, Steve Jobs, who's no more with us. And in his message, he basically ended with the words, be foolish and stay hungry. I just checked to see if my people remember that. I keep saying this to them over and over again. You see, we as a company, we would be redundant. We are 18 years old now simply because we stay foolish and because we stay hungry. So I say to you, be hungry. Don't waste your time being angry, but seriously, be hungry. Always be a little bit foolish. All right? In the words of Mr. Jobs, the only way you can see a solution to a problem is by looking at it in a way no one else does. So if 99% of the world is looking at it in one particular direction, you need to look at it as Dr. Clark would put it, coming out of left field. Now what that would mean is look at it totally differently. And that means you need to be a little bit crazy. I tell my people to be a little bit mad all the time. Whenever I talk to them, to my students, when I go back to, I have a convocation speech coming up in a couple of weeks, and I need to speak to them, and I'm going to be telling them to be mad. Why mad? Not because you need to be insane, but because you need to make a difference. M-A-D, make a difference. In order to make a difference, you need to have something to contribute. And if you're doing everything that everyone else is doing, you're not making any contribution, you're just an echo. So you just need to make a different form of contribution. And that is how you start by changing the world. Be a little bit mad. Now I have a few things I have actually written down, which is very rare, but since today is a convocation, I actually wrote it down to share with you. These are basically 4 principles that begin with what His Holiness spoke about today, Dharma. Dharma and what Dr. Cole spoke about, karma, are 2 things that we, especially in Buddhism, are very much aware of it in this part of the world. One is, of course, you sow what you reap. So, in essence, everything you do comes back to you, or as the Americans would put it, what goes around comes around. But having said that, why is it important? It's important to recognize that effort is yours. You have to make 100% effort in every single thing you do. Failure or success is irrelevant to the process. Effort is yours. Results. Now let's leave it to karma. But keep working on your effort and the results will eventually come around your way. But the key to working with it, however, remains with dharma, which is righteousness, nobility, the higher path, so to speak. Simply put, dharma means be good, do good. Sounds very simple, but try putting it into practice and it becomes an extremely laborious task, let me assure you. But it starts from inside. The path is inside. Seek inside. For the answers are always inside. I'm not asking you to go out there and meditate, in a lotus pond on a rock somewhere. I'm saying be in the center of the world. Be in the center of activity. Take every challenge that life has to throw at you, but at the same time, keep your center serene, balanced. This is where your center really is. The world, that's a whirlwind, and you need to step into it. You are going to step into it. There is no safety nets out there. So I'd like to basically state these 4 rules, if you like.